Alright, so let's continue now. So here we have to do something different. I did promise you that now we'll look at how to declare variables and how to initiate them. So let's see. We have quite a lot of variables that you can declare. To start, we'll start from the scratch. Just to recap on what Madame taught you. She labored so much on this, but nevertheless you seem to have forgotten, and then you're saying you don't actually understand what you're doing. So let me declare an integer. Okay, so declaring an integer, I'll simply say int, and then I'll say, okay, I'll declare let me say a. I'll declare a, and then I can also declare b. Okay, let's assume these are integers. If you don't want to declare them that way, you can declare them as okay, let me say this is first number. Okay, okay, first number, and then we can also have another one. You can also declare another one that could be, well, second number. What am I doing? Second number. Okay, so we have second number, then we can rightfully terminate that. So those are just variables that have been declared. Okay, so I've declared that. Yeah, these two, sorry, I need to separate them by a comma. Then maybe something else that I can declare again is the same. I can say, okay, some int, and then I'm going to say, okay, I'll need to have summation in my calculations. I'll need to add up some values. I'm trying to write up a program that can add two numbers. Okay, and maybe I can also do the difference. Okay, that is a subtraction. Okay, you did this question, so let me just end on subtraction, because I saw some of you were posting, so it shows that you are a bit conversant with that. So we have declared these variables. We've just initiated them. We've not assigned any values. Okay, so what next? Well, let's do allow the user to import some data. So first of all, what statement will prompt the user to input data, interact with this one? So say, okay, cout. So cout there, what are we looking for? Okay, we want to type a statement here that will request the user to enter maybe the first number. So it will say, okay, enter the first number. Wow, the first, okay, the first number. So enter the first number. So the user will enter the first number. Let me just terminate it with that, although it is not necessary, but for the sake of consistency and being smart as you code, we will do that because we are beginners. Okay, so now at this point the user will be prompted to enter the first number. Now what is it that will allow the first number to be entered? Then you bring in the character in. Remember, this is character out. This is what will be displayed on the screen. Now what is it that we need to do to allow the user to input data? That's where now we use the scene or iStream. Okay, so then with a scene, the difference is that it uses the greater than symbol of these characters. So it uses greater than, the two greater than, and then the other one uses two less than. So the same thing. So what is it that we want to input? So it is first number. So we are saying first number. Okay, now this program is actually case sensitive. The way you declared the variable there, it must be the same spelling here. If you put a wrong spelling, then it will not be able to recognize that particular value. So there we are done with the first one. Do we need to allow for the second one? Yes. After the first import has been done, then the user will be prompted again to enter the second number. So there we are. Then we are saying please enter your second number. Okay, enter your second number. So enter your second number. We can still terminate this. I have no problem doing that. Okay, so if you have followed, what do you think will follow now that we are asking the user to enter the second number? The character in. So say character in. So character in is now going to be for the second number. So character in, second number. How did I spell it? Okay, capital N as usual. So it will now prompt the user to put the second number. Okay, maybe at this point we can look at our codes. Are we okay? Yes, we are. The next thing is if these numbers are entered, what do we want? Well, we want to say we want to add something, right? So very basic. So sum is equal to what? So to be equal to first number. So the program will add that first number plus, plus where is my plus? Okay, plus second number. The spelling there, it is capital C, so I needed to just correct it. So second number. Okay, that is actually the first formula that we've put there. Allow me to say now the next one is the difference. So the difference, and the spelling should be there. I need to go and correct there because it's double F. Okay, so the difference is equal to what? So difference is equal to first number minus second number. Okay, I'm just copying that in the interest of time. So when I paste that, I will have to edit because the first one is saying plus, so this one is going to be minus, and then of course at the end we will have to terminate. So we have that. It's done. What next? We now have to print the statements. We have to print these statements. Of course, we are lucky we only have two statements. So the first statement will be a character. Whenever you are printing out something to display on the screen, it must be character out, that is cout. So what is it that we want here? We want to say the sum is, okay, the sum. So yes, saying the sum of two numbers. We'll learn how to we can also show the numbers later. The sum of two numbers, the sum of two numbers is, okay, sum of two numbers is, so now we remember we created a variable, or we had this variable sum, and we initialize it with some values, which is 1 and number 1 and number 2, which is first number and second number. So what we are printing here is the sum. So this here is what we want to print. So I will just say sum, and then close this. Okay, that one is done. The next one that we want to do is for the difference. So I'll copy that, paste it there. Now this time around it's not the sum, we're looking at the difference, right? So you're saying the difference of the two numbers, the difference of two numbers. Okay, the two numbers, let me be more specific. The difference of the two numbers here, what do I put? Is it still sum? Okay, very good. So we have a difference there, so that's what we are putting there. So we have finished. Remember, we have declared, first of all, we declared num1, or number 1, sorry, first number. I don't know why I'm talking about things that are not here. Okay, first number and then second number. We've also declared the sum and the difference. Now at this point here, we are asking the user to enter the first number, and then we've also allowed the screen to prompt that and then make a provision for the entry of the first number, which is character in. We have repeated this for the second one, and so on. We've also now put the formulas to compute those two numbers that we have, and then here we are. We want the output to be printed as it is at once, right? So let's run and build. Okay, let's build and run. If there are errors, then we'll see at the bottom here, it should be able to give us. So it's trying to check for errors, and there we are. There's an error here. So what is it saying? So it's saying error, no match for operator. Okay, so which one is that? We have the first number, the character in, and then we have the second number. So we also have to learn to troubleshoot and interpret what that basically means. Okay, this is first number, and then also have that one over there. So we need to check where is the issue. Where have, okay, it's this actually, it's this one, yes, okay. Please enter your first number, but we have to read what it says here. It makes sense to read error match for operator, types of standard word. Okay, so you notice something there. Okay, can you identify the mistakes? Yeah, you can't see them. You can, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this statement. Is this the same with the first line? No. So what is missing? It's missing error at the end there. Okay, and then there again we're looking at error. I think now we are done. Or even this one. Problem is my keyboard and letter L are not friends. So now we have made some corrections. Let's now run it and see what other errors will come on our screen. Don't be frustrated. Errors will always be there, so your duty is to correct them. If you're able to correct errors, able to spot mistakes, then you are good to go. There's another error here, ladies and gentlemen. So it says what is it saying? Second number was not declared in this scope. Second number was not declared in this scope. So what went wrong? Is it true that second number was not declared, or there should be a aspect of spelling? As I recall that the first and second number are all declared up there. Maybe we need to check properly. Is it because they were declared in the same line, or we have to do something? When you look at that and you look at this, okay, there we are. Sure. Maybe alternatively, for the sake of running this so quickly, let's let's say we will try it one more time. Oh, I didn't even read here. So suggested alternative is a second number. Okay. So do you see the problem here, ladies and gentlemen? As I spoke earlier, this is interesting, eh? Because we are learning. I told you that this program is case sensitive, so I made a mistake here. I started using capital letter S, and yet I declared with a small letter s. No wonder it is saying second number was not declared in this scope. So for me to have this program run successfully, I just have to go and edit this part, because in most of these parts I used the capital letter. So let me just put a capital letter there, then it will match with whatever I have put down there. Now I can run this. It's building, so it has to compile, it has to build, and finally it's going to run. And once it runs, it will take me into the terminal. So once the program goes into the terminal, then it means it's successful. Yeah, because it will now prompt you for whatever you had requested for. So you will see that cursor blinking there. It says enter the first number. So I can enter my first number as 10, and then I'll press enter. When I press enter, it prompts me again for the second line that we declared. Let me bring this one a little bit down so that we can move together, right? So you see that there the first statement, which is this one here. It is saying enter the first number, which we have done, and there it is. Now it's saying please enter the second number, which is this second line. So I'll enter 25. Okay, 25. So once I enter 25, then I'll press enter and it will do the computations. So the first one is saying the sum of two numbers, forget about the spelling there, the sum of two number is actually 35. So we know it's actually 10 plus 15, 10 plus 25 rather, and then the difference of the two numbers is actually minus 5, which is negative 5. Okay, so okay, there's no space here. Okay, there's no space. Yeah, there's no space here. I didn't write properly. But basically, ladies and gentlemen, this is how you write a simple program that is just to calculate and do all that. So if you're able to write this, then you are good to go. But remember, what we did was we declared variables first. We declared these two variables. We also declared these other two, and then we started from here coding, requesting for the user to input data, and then we had character in for the first number, and then again for the second number we requested the user to input data, and so on. And finally we have these computations, and when you run and build, or build and run, it takes you to this platform where you begin to enter your value. So I'll say okay, 50 is my first number, and 15 is my second number, so that I can have the sum as 65 and I can have the difference as 35. So thank you so much for listening. May you try these things out. Try to think of other things that you can do. Multiplications, you can do division, you can do the quotients, but multiplication, don't use multiply, use product, so that you do not get yourself into trouble. Thank you once again.